and a pleasant good afternoon. Welcome back here at the Sag Sports Network for Game 2 of this doubleheader between Siena and Fairfield. JJ Duke with you if you're just joining us here, and welcoming you to the Fairfield Stags YouTube channel for the first time. Fairfield took the opener 5-1, backed by the outstanding performance of Allie Bridgman in the circle. 7 innings, 1 earned run, struck out 3. And then the big moment happened in the bottom of the 3rd inning with 2 outs, a Caitlin Hoffman grand slam. And that was how Fairfield picked up that result and now turned the ball over to Katie Kudlasik, who has been outstanding in the circle this season for the Stags. Really one of the hottest pitchers in this league, the reigning MAC Pitcher of the Week. With a 1.59 ERA, a 3-0 record in 4 starts, she has finished 2 of her games, 1 complete game shutout. In 22 innings, has allowed 17 hits, 7 runs, 5 earned runs, walked 9, struck out 29. We'll tell you about the Siena lineup in just a moment, as the first pitch to Isabella Pardo is in there for a strike. Fairfield in their black and red jerseys, Siena in their green and gold tops and white bottoms. And the junior lefty from Emerson, New Jersey deals. That one misses down. Fairfield enter this game with a record of 8-5. They're 6-3 at home. Siena are 4-7 in league play, 1-2 away from Loudonville, New York. The 1-1 grounder back up the mound. Oh, what a play there by Kudlasik. PFP, but self-preservation on that. Pitcher's fielding practice effort. 1 up, 1 down. Now Sabrina Vargas steps in. The rest of the Siena lineup looks like this. After Vargas, Isabel DeChiro is in left field. Emma McLaughlin's at first. Yami Evans at second. Angelina Stiles, the DP. You have Maritza Diaz at third. Tony Alba in center. And Nasa Olette is behind the dish. First one to Vargas is upstairs. Sabrina in the first game, an 0-for-2 effort. The sacrifice bunt in there as well. That's a strikeout or edge. Vargas is certainly one of those players that is there in the 2-hole to move the runner over. As she was one of the MAC leaders in 2019 in sacrifice bunts with 8 of them. Already has 3 this season. Hits an even 200, 5 for 25. Kudlasik kicks and deals. That is down for a ball. This is Megan Forbes, who's catching game 2. Ask the umpire the same question, where that missed just a little down. Okay, so 2-1 count to Sabrina Vargas. This ball grounded outside of third. We'll do it even at 2. The defensive order for Fairfield. Left to right in the outfield, Lex Ortman, Sam Marino, Caitlin Hoffman around the horn in the infield. Casey Sekula, Madison Robichaux, Michaela Rubin, Lacey Olaf, and Forbes is the one defensive change. I mean, she is behind the plate. They're placing Drew Westford. The 2-2 offering, slashed foul out of play down the right field side. Well, Kudlasik has already faced this Siena team once. That came in the first game yesterday. As in the MAC season this year, it's all conference games. You play all 10 teams 4 times, back-to-back doubleheaders. Usually Kudlasik is the game 2 starter, but she pitched the first game yesterday as that one misses upstairs. 2 runs, 1 earned, 4 hits, walked 3, struck out 4. This is coming off of a week last week when she faced Iona on 2 separate occasions, combined to strike out 23 hitters in 12 innings, including twirling a 3-hit shutout last Saturday. Payoff pitch is flown out to right field. Hoffman is able to guide this one in. That's the second out of the inning. Now, Isabel DeChiro steps in. The senior from New York State, the leader on the team in average, came in sporting one well over 500, but an 0-for-3 day. 2 lineouts to the first baseman and a strikeout. Now is at 467. That's 14 for 30. With 2 homers and 5 runs driven in. The first one misses out. The 1-0 is upstairs. Now, I talked with Kudlasik after her game last Saturday, and kind of the scary part is the fact that she said, yeah, the 23 strikeouts in 12 innings is one thing, but she still felt after those starts that she wasn't anywhere near where her level is, which is a scary prospect for the majority of this league, as Kudlasik drills that pitch outer edge for a strike and wasn't locating a lot of her pitches, so the rise ball wasn't fully on. But the fact that she was still able to produce a couple of really strong performances certainly tells you one thing. And when you can back it up with having Bridgman do what she did often, Lauren Reinhart also pitching well, albeit it hasn't been the best starts this season, but she certainly knows how to get the job done. Fairfield, all of a sudden, they've got a nice little staff to work with. DeChiro up in the count 3-1, though. Siena, their lone run came in the first inning off of a 2-out RBI single from Emma McLaughlin. Pitch is there for a strike. Certainly sent the Siena dugout into a bit of a subdued moment, thinking that was going to be ball 4. But they'll do it at full 3-2. Kudlasik gets the sign in from the Fairfield dugout. Time is called at the plate. Now everyone's set. We'll do it at full 3-2. That one is ball 4. Stayed low. And DeChiro works out her 9th walk of the season, which is a team high. Emma McLaughlin, the first baseman, checking in at 294. 10 for 34 this season with a team best 9 runs driven in. Ball misses up. McLaughlin, like I said, had an RBI single up the middle in the first inning of game 1. Then what would have been a single to right in the third, but a heads-up play by Caitlin Hoffman to snap it up quickly. It was hit hard at her and then fired to first to get the something that you don't see every day, the 9-3 putout at first base. Then McLaughlin after that struck out. As now we're level in the count here at 1. And one drilled in her edge. And Kudlasik up in the count here, 1-2. When Fairfield come to bat in the bottom of the first, they'll be facing Allison Spesiak, who picked up the win in the second game of yesterday's doubleheader. The 1-2 cut on and miss, and the rise ball kept sailing, and McLaughlin could not hold up. So a 2-out walk gets stranded. We head to the bottom of the first. Fairfield coming to bat here on the Stag Sports Network. Well, after a scoreless top of the first inning, it's the 5'9" sophomore from California, Allison Speciak, who will take to the circle. And this is the lineup that she will face for Fairfield. There are a couple of changes, including Madison Robichaux will step up to the top of the order after hitting the second spot in the first game. She's followed by Sam Marino in center, Michaela Rubin at second. It's the off-speed pitch in there for a strike. Megan Forbes cleans up behind the dish. Caitlin Hoffman in right. Lacey Olaf hitting 6. 7 through 9 is Lauren Reinhardt, the designated player. Casey Sekula at third and Lex Ortman in left. And Robichaux sees the second one out of the zone. And the Fairfield shortstop hitting .263, 10 for 38. However, Robichaux in this series is 5 for 10, including a 3-hit performance in the first game of this doubleheader. And she sees the second one missed down. So certainly for Robichaux, just needed to see a little green and gold in the Siena Saints jerseys, and all of a sudden turning things a little bit better on the hitting side as she fouls that 2-1 back. We'll do it even at 2. As I mentioned, Speciak pitched the second game yesterday in the doubleheader. 4 innings, 4 shutout innings, 4 hits, 1 strikeout to earn the victory. Off-speed pitch, that ball drilled out to left field, but right at DeChiro. She makes the catch for the first out as Robichaux just a little out in front of it. And a right at the Siena left fielder. Their defensive order, DeChiro in left, Alba in center. Pardo is in right. Around the horn in the infield, you have Maritza Diaz, Sabrina Vargas, Yami Evans, Emma McLaughlin, and Nasa Olette behind the dish. Sam Marino sees ball 1 inside. She was the leadoff hitter in the first game. Did reach on a walk in the 6th inning to lead it off, but was 0 for 3 otherwise. A little bit of a windy day here in Fairfield as that one missed inside for ball 2. It is blowing out towards right center. For the grand slam that Hoffman hit in the 3rd inning, it didn't need the jet stream. That ball carried plenty about halfway up the grass berm in center field. That ball laced back through the box, and that's a base hit for Marino. Bat flip to follow as well, and after an 0 for 4 or 0 for 3 performance in the first game, see ball, hit ball, and she put it right back where it came from. Brings up the meat of the order for Fairfield, starting with Michaela Rubin, the Fairfield second baseman who in the first contest got on a couple of times, reached on a fielder's choice and had a sacrifice bunt, but a couple of ground outs. So she now stands at a .325 clip. So the first pitch misses inside. Rubin, 13 hits, 12 runs driven in, which is best on the team, along with a team high 3 homers. At Fairfield now swatted 10 homers in 13 games played. Off speed, that just misses in. Speciak was not exactly pleased by that call. Thought that she caught the corner. Send it to 2-0 count. Runner breaks. It was a delayed steal. Just in time is Marino at second. Not quite sure, actually, what Rubin was swinging at there. That one was well into the glove by the time the throw came in. A delayed hit and run or a delayed steal, and someone was crossed up. By the way, Marino gets there. Sam is 7 of 8 on stolen bases this season. 2-1 count inside. On deck is Megan Forbes. He's also having a very good series. Tell you all about that in a moment. But a hitter's count here with the runner on second and 1 down. Speciak kicks and deals inside. That actually hit Rubin in on the hands. That ball just dove in late at the last second. Rubin hasn't really flexed that left hand at all. Hopefully that she's okay. The player that you don't want to lose if you're the Stags. She's trying to kind of flex that out a little bit with the first base coach. A thumbs up from the Fairfield first base coach, so it looks like Ruben's going to be all right. I tell you that much, though. Where you hold that bat, it stings. It doesn't feel too good when it dives in the last minute. Megan Forbes now, the Fairfield catcher. She's the first one upstairs. She is hitting .306, 11 for 36 with 5 runs driven in. Currently on a modest 5-game hit streak and is 4 for 9 in this series. Took a big healthy cut at that one. The sophomore catcher is now leveled the count here, 1-1. What you certainly can say about the sophomore from Norco, California is there is a lot of consistency there. Player that's going to get herself into the lineup every day. Probably going to give you a hit every day. 9 of 33 last year in the curtailed season, but started 10 of the 13 games she played in. And is 11 for 36 now. She takes ball 2 out. 3 multi-hit games already this season. And has registered a hit in 8 of the 12 games played. The 2-2 pitch off the end of the bat. McLaughlin is there and she makes the catch. So an FP3 for those keeping track at home. And with 2 down, Caitlin Hoffman comes up. Again, Hoffman had the big swing in the last game. Bottom of the 3rd inning with 2 outs and the bases loaded. 2-1 pitch that was belt high out over the plate. She deposited it over the right center field fence for her first career grand slam. Her 4th career home run as well. But a big moment right here as Fairfield had plenty of traffic on the bases in the first 2 games. In fact, they registered 9 hits as a team. But they also left a lot of those on bases. 8 in total were stranded. That pitch misses in. You can hear the wind coming in. It wasn't nearly as heavy in the first game. That's probably one of the bigger gusts that we've had thus far as Speciak deals inside for ball 3. Lacey Olaf is on deck for Fairfield. In fact, they have Olaf dropping down to the 6 hole. Team best .333 average. Said this Fairfield team can hurt you in a lot of places. They certainly can, as that is ball 4 upstairs. And now the bases are loaded here in the bottom of the 1st. It's a single from Marino, a hit by pitch to Rubin, and a walk now to Hoffman. And the grad student first baseman will step in, but not before a chat in the circle. Head coach Casey Bump will take the slow walk out into the circle to chat with her hurler. And Speciak threw a lot yesterday, despite the fact that she only gave up the 4 hits, but 4 long innings. Fairfield looking to jump early here. So Olaf now up. In the first game, Olaf with a hit by pitch, singled, and a couple of groundouts. Takes the first one right underneath the hands for a strike. Said hitting .333, 6 runs driven in, but boy, she's got a number of them standing out there on the base pass right now. The 0-1 fouled off at the play. That one popped and hit her helmet. So Allison Speciak trying to work in and out of trouble here in this first inning. So up in the count, 0-2. That on the outer edge, flipped out towards second. Evans up with it, and Fairfield strand the bases loaded. We head to the second inning. tied at 0. You're watching Stag Sports Network. It'll be 5-6 second due up for Siena in their half of the second inning. Yami Evans will lead things off. The Siena second baseman who had the final chance defensively last inning, cuts and misses at the first one, well out of the zone there, but could not hold up. Evans right now at a 267 clip, 8 of 30 on the season. Kudlasic deals, this one fouled off, and we'll do it at 0-2. Angelina Style and Maritza Diaz are the two that are also due up here in this frame. Kudlasic kicks and deals, that one missing. Kudlasic walked one. That was DeChiro in the top of the first inning, but a strikeout, a line on a flyout. 1-2. Oh, just missing a bit down, but really, to be fair, not by too much. The count has worked back even. This ball lined over the first baseman's head, but just falling foul. Evans trying to shoot that one the other way, but just came up empty. Yami Evans from Pasadena, California. Really good hitting season last year, 364. Swings to that one, pop up in the infield. Olaf calls everybody off and makes a grab. There's the first out of this, the second inning. It brings up Angelina Style, who threw out one runner in the first game. Offensively, 1 for 3. The Siena had 3 different players pick up base knocks. McLaughlin in the first, Style in the second, Reinhardt in the 4th inning. She swings again, first pitch. Forbes going to give it a look, but it goes on the roof for the first strike. But that was it. Allie Bridgman just shut everybody down. Retired the last 10 that she faced in 17 of the last 18. That was what you call efficient and dominant. As Kudlasic getting the sign in from the dugout, deals off speed, missing down. Good change of pace right there. We saw actually both starters in the first game, Maddie McMahon and Allie Bridgman, use the changeup to good effect in the first game. Reinhardt certainly, Kudlasic a power pitcher. So whenever you can throw the combo in there and have it effective, then you're doing something right. This one on the hands, out beyond second base, but Robichaux is there to take that one in for the second out of the inning. A little humpback liner, but didn't threaten. And now Maritza Diaz. Diaz came in as a defensive replacement in the fourth inning, replacing Taylor Reinhardt, who became the designated player in the first game, and taking over in the 9-batter spot for Michaela Fletcher. This ball in on the hands. Casey Sekula deflects it out in the shallow center field. That will go down as should be a base hit. It's a tough chance for Sekula. Did the right thing, cut it over. But just a little bit out of her reach, and for Robichaux would have been also a tough chance. So infield single for Diaz. And Tony Alba, number 8 hitter, comes up to the plate. Alba walked and grounded out to each of the middle infielders. However, this is a pop-up, and Olaf calls everybody off but misses it. Well, that ball was hit right back at the pitcher. However, usually you don't want the pitcher fielding it. So she gave way to Olaf, but Olaf instead not there in time. And now ball's traveling at combined about 85 feet. Have now allowed runners to get to second and third, or excuse me, first and second with 2 down. That is an E3 officially, so. Glasik trying to work her way out of some problems here in this second inning. Now dealing with number 9 hitter Nasa Olette. We did not see her in the first game, the backup catcher for Siena. Angelina Style caught the first game, now the DP this game, and up in the count now 2-0. Glasik gets the sign she wants, misses that one down. Now the count to 3-0. Well, Sienna would love to turn the lineup over here, get it back to Pardo. Let her go to work with the bases loaded. However, it's going to have to wait for at least one more pitch. That one is there for a strike. Let the catcher out of Nashua, New Hampshire. Now a hitter's count. Can only foul that one to the backstop. Good pitch underneath the hands from Glasik. Olette is 1 of 7 this season. Lone hit coming against Iona in the last game of 4 to open Siena's season on the 27th of March. So we'll do it at full 3-2. Diaz at second, all but first. Kicks and deals. That one misses outside, and the bases are now loaded. And it comes back to the top of the order now for Isabella Pardo.
Right fielder, number 32, Isabella Pardo.
And Julie Brzezinski is going to take the slow walk out into the mound, and it also looks like Siena possibly could be making some changes, at least in terms of base runners. Or perhaps their head coach is just giving the home plate umpire some sort of opinion. Yeah, for Fairfield, after a pump up to the first baseman and a line out to the shortstop. Slow roll that dribbled off the glove of Casey Sekula at third. An error by Lacey Olaf trying to come over and catch what was a pretty routine pop-up right in front of the circle. Glasik, if anything, probably could have caught it. The first baseman taking over, and then a walk has now loaded the bases here for Siena in the second inning. Pardo will line out to first. Now up. Second best average on the team at 375, and the first pitch misses down. Pardo, however, just the 2 runs driven in this season. Time is called as the umpire comes out. I thought I heard that perhaps the third base umpire maybe called a legal pitch. Definitely thought I heard someone yelling it out there. No, not to be, as it's only an explanation. I guess Kudlasik is certainly getting close. Certainly this, if anything, breaking up the rhythm a little bit. Kudlasik a chance just to compose herself, as she has been around the strike zone here in this second inning. Now the umpire is going to confer. Again, I definitely thought I heard someone yell out illegal somewhere. I'm not sure if it was a player or a coach or if it was an umpire. We'll wait to see what exactly the call is going to be here, because again, if it is an illegal pitch and that does move runners up, and Siena would in fact score a run. And one run that would probably be very unwarranted from Fairfield defensively because of a couple of miscues. Let's see, the third base umpire is backing away. Now they're going to call back out Fairfield pitching coach as to the Siena third base coach, and everyone's going to have a bit of a conversation here. This is, again, a big moment because, like I said, if it is an illegal pitch that gets called, then, yeah, run scores for Siena. It seemed by the way that the Siena head coach is walking away back to the third base dugout, it looks like this is just going to be a ball and only a ball. And after a significantly long delay, the count is now back to 2-0 to Isabella Pardo. So again, at third base is Maritza Diaz, second is Tony Alba, and Nasa Olette is at first. And there's a strike, the first in a fair few pitches for Katie Kudlasik. Pardo going to line out to first to lead up this ball game. She reached on an error to begin the last game, but she lines out once again to Olaf, and this time it's Siena who's stranded the bases loaded. 1 hit, 1 error, 3 left on through an inning and a half, scoreless at Alumni Softball Field. So both teams here in this second game of the doubleheader have had the bases loaded. Both teams coming up empty. And it'll be the number 7 hitter Lauren Reinhardt to lead things off for the Stags. And first offering from Allison Speschak is inside for a ball. Reinhardt, the senior from the state of Washington, been off to the best hitting start this season, 0 for 11. And she freezes on that one, the outer edge. Count quickly at 0-2. Reinhardt can hit and pitch. 3 and 4 in the circle this season. Takes that one on the outer edge. Pitched yesterday an inning, gave up 5 runs, walked 5, gave up 2 hits. Has not been used today in the circle. The 1-2 now, and misses outside. So from 0-2 to 2-2, it's Reinhardt, Casey Sekula, and Lex Ortman. And then back to the top of the order for the Stags. The 2-2 offering misses down. Speschak in the first inning, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch. We'll do it at full 3-2. That one misses out, and Reinhardt works her way on base. It's a good start to the inning for Fairfield. And Casey Sekula will step in. Also looking for her first hit of the season, was just in the field in the first game as the flex. Is 0 for 14 this season. However, does have 1 sacrifice bunt. You figure she's going to square up, which she does. Drops it down the third base line, but it's foul. Sekula has done a fine job over at third, albeit didn't make the 1 error in the top half of the inning, but had a lot of action in the first game and came through flying colors. But she was late on that one, cuts and misses, and the freshman from Oak Ridge, New Jersey, now down the count 0-2. The Mount St. Dominic Academy product. Sees ball 1 outside. Speschak really pounding the outside corner for the righties. And working in on the, you could say working in on the lefties, but Fairfield don't have any lefties in this lineup today. That one cut on and missed for strike 3 up until now, which would be Lex Ortman, the lone lefty in the lineup. So 1-on-1 out for the Fairfield left fielder. Figure her job potentially would be putting this one on the ground, trying to move Reinhardt into scoring position. Ortman did have a knock, though, in 3 at-bats last game. She does bunt, drops it down the third base line. Just 1 play to make for Diaz. It's to first. So Reinhardt moves up 1 station. Score that a 5-3 sacrifice. Those keeping track at home, and it goes back to the top of the order for Madison Robichaux, who was 5 for 11 in this series. Hits in all 3 games thus far. Sees that one high and tight. Fairfield love the cash in here. Trying to give Kudlasek something to work with. 1-0 is inside. Robichaux does really well to hold up on that swing because that ball was started underneath the hands, but it just kept drifting in. And at second is Reinhardt. That ball misses upstairs, and Robichaux now well out ahead. Third baseman and Maritza Diaz playing way in as well. Doesn't really matter. There's ball 4 inside, but Robichaux is not looking to bunt there. Anything down the line, that's a lookout moment. San Marino 2-0 single in the first at bat. Last inning, she'll step up. Just saw a ball out over the plate, kept it simple, and put it back where it came from. That one catching the inner edge. Big gap up the middle as well as Sabrina Vargas playing deep in the hole over to the left side. That one again catching the inside corner. Speciak was working away from the righties first trip through, and now all of a sudden pounding Marino in. The 0-2 off speed and outside. And that wind still blowing out to right center. Anything that gets hit into that jet stream, it might go. We're going to peel on the check swing. Marino did not go, so the count level at 2. The 2-2 in the dirt and well smothered by Olette as she fired back behind the runner, but to no avail. But it will run the count full here at 3-2. Marino 2 for 10 in the series thus far. Big moment with the payoff pitch coming. This ball back up through the box. A nice stop by the shortstop Vargas. She throws on to first in time, and that will do it here for this second inning. So Field put 2 more on, but stranded them both. And we're through 2 scoreless. We're watching the Stag Sports Network. Sabrina Vargas will step in for Siena to begin this third inning. JJ Duke with you. No runs, 1 hit for both teams, 1 Fairfield error. And the Siena shortstop Vargas, who made a nifty play off to her left on a bouncing ball from Marino to end the last inning, will step in. And this is the only doubleheader in MAC action today. These 2 teams were scheduled to begin the season against each other, but changes forced Fairfield to end up hosting Manhattan to open the weekend. But glad to see that both of these teams were able to get the series in the midweek. The 1-0 climbing the ladder, but swinging and missing is Vargas. Take a look at what both of these teams have coming up on the weekend in just a moment. The 1-1, back up the box and snagged by Kudlasik.
The left fielder, number 8, Isabel Ichiro.
Isabel DeChiro, who walked back in the first inning, will come up. Got herself to a full count. 0-1 misses upstairs. Pitch catches the corner. So yeah, some of those games are happening elsewhere. Quinnipiac traveling to Niagara this weekend. Games tomorrow and Saturday. Manhattan and Monmouth, same thing, tomorrow and Saturday. As Kudlasik misses that one out. Fairfield are away to Ryder Saturday and Sunday. Canisius away to Iona. Siena and St. Peter's are set to do battle. That's the next series for the Saints. I believe those will be the first games for the Peacocks as 2-1 misses outside. Yes, that would be the, it would be the second games of the season as St. Peter's played 2 games against Manhattan a couple weekends ago as Kudlasik misses once again. So for the second time today, DeChiro gets on base with a walk.
The first baseman, number 10, Emma McLaughlin.
So those are the games that are happening throughout this weekend here in MAC softball. Right now, standings have it. Still Monmouth at a 7-1 record, but Fairfield, Ryder, Iona, and Canisius are all amongst each other. It's a snap throw behind the runner, not in time. Emma McLaughlin up in the count, 1-0. Iona and Ryder each 8-4. Canisius at 6-4. Fairfield at 7-5. And remember, with the new format this year for MAC postseason action, top 4 teams will get to host a quarterfinal best-of-3 series against teams placed 5 through 8 in the standings. And then the top remaining team will host the championship 4-team weekend. So all the series winners will move on. 1-1 from Kudlasik. That one sent McLaughlin chasing as she did back in the first inning and came up empty. So the count at 1-2. One-two offering. This one off the end of the bat. Foul over our heads. At third, Sakula playing right on top of the bag, basically, so nothing's going to get down the lines. Does open up a little bit of a hole between the third baseman and the shortstop. Pitch is in the dirt. Two and two as Kudlasik from the first base side of the rubber deals this ball. Shot out to right center. Marino, though, has it in her sights, makes the grab for the second out of the inning. To be fair, I thought that ball sounded pretty good coming off the bat from McLaughlin, but didn't carry.
The second baseman, number 14, Yami Evans.
So Yami Evans now, who flew out to the first baseman. Back to lead off the second inning. We'll stride back in. Evans had a good second game of the doubleheader yesterday. She drives that out to center field, and just off the glove of Marino, she was twisted and tied up. The relay throw to the shortstop. Runner is being sent home, and it is a wild throw. So it's an RBI double from Yami Evans. I was about to say had a good second game of the doubleheader yesterday. 2 for 4 with 2 runs driven in. Well, she drives in a run right there. Well, Marino got something to it, but the way that that was hit, she turned the wrong way from the start, turned back around, was not able to adjust herself. But it is a double for Evans. And Siena have the lead. On the day, outside of the 1-0 lead in the top of the first inning, this is their only other lead throughout the afternoon. Evans now 7 runs driven in this season. And Style, who lined out to the shortstop in the second inning, flips that one over to the second baseman, but it gets lost in the sun. And Rubin, her second error of the day, second error in this game for Fairfield. Now runners at the corners and 2 down. And that sun does set basically right behind home plate. And Rubin had no chance from the moment that ball left the bat. The last 2 innings, Fairfield have not helped themselves defensively. Both times coming with 2 outs. Ball in the dirt, and that's a good stop by Forbes. Diaz single. That one was a slow dribbler off the glove of Sekula. That got the train started with 2 outs last inning. Grounder up the middle. That will get through for a base hit. When you're given the opportunity, you have to capitalize, and Maritza Diaz put that one right through the box. That's an RBI base hit, her second hit of this game. And now Siena got themselves a 2-run lead. So situationally, and Siena taking advantage. They're doing the right things as now Tony Alba will step in. She reached on an arrow. It was a little 40-foot pop-up right in front of the pitcher's circle, but first baseman came over and it hit right off the heel of the glove. That's Olaf as the first pitch misses down. If you're Siena right now, you have to keep going. Try to keep putting the pressure on as you're forcing Kudlasik to throw a lot of pitches. This game has really kind of come down to a crawl pace at the moment. In fact, the Fairfield have also stranded 5 runners in 2 innings on the bases. Siena making the most of this one. 2-1 on the count. On deck is Nasa Olette. Off the end of the bat in the shallow left field. Coming on, but just past the dive of Ortman. That ball falls. It's an RBI single for Alba. And Siena now 3 runs here in this 3rd inning. Can't fault the effort there of Ortman. No chance as that ball just kept dying and dying in front of her. Now the 8th batter to come to the plate here in Olette, who walked last inning to load the bases. Now a chance to do more damage here, and this is all coming unearned, mind you, off the air from Rubin on what was a pretty harmless pop fly in the infield, but Rubin lost it in the sun. And back-to-back RBI singles from Diaz and Alba. Of course, Yami Evans got it all started with a 2-out double to right center field that brought home DeChara. 1-1 cut on and missed. Let down the count now 1-2. When Fairfield come up, they'll have Rubin, Forbes, and Hoffman. So the right part of the order to try and cut back into this deficit. The 1-2, cut on and missed. And that will do it here for the top of the 3rd. But Siena bring home 3 runs off 3 hits. They leave 2 on base. Head to the bottom of the 3rd. Saints lead by 3. Alison Spesiak now given a 3-run cushion to work with here in the bottom half of the third inning. It'll be Michaela Rubin to lead things off for Fairfield. She swings at the first one, pops it up behind third, and Diaz takes it 1 pitch, 1 out. That's exactly what Spesiak will want after a long wait in the dugout between the last time that she has pitched. And also, she hasn't had an easy inning yet. I would love a quick frame. As Megan Forbes will step in. See the first one down. Forbes a foul pop out to the first baseman the last time up. Fairfield 1 hit thus far, but they've also had 5 runners reach on base. Spesiak has walked 3 and hit 1. 2-0 there at the knees for a strike. Hoffman and Olaf to follow. Siena putting across 3 runs last inning. Only 1 of those are earned to Kudlasik. That ball ripped through the middle. It's a base hit for Megan Forbes, now with a 6-game hit streak. And is 5 for 11 in this series. Caitlin Hoffman to step in the grand slam in the last game in the bottom of the third inning. She walked on 4 pitches last at bat. First one misses high. Corners are in here for Siena. That one is in there for a strike. One thing that Hoffman would be someone that would bunt. However, seeing Julie Brzezinski in the last game having her 3-hitter and Michaela Rubin drop down a sacrifice in the third inning, anyone is a candidate. That pitch misses inside. Two and 1 count now to the Fairfield right fielder. In on the hands as shoes committed. That ball, that's what Spesiak has gotten. Starting it in on the righties and moving it back in towards the hands. It's difficult to hold up on and even more difficult to get contact. Hoffman probably knew that that ball didn't have much of a chance to stay in the zone. The 2-2 offering down the dirt. Runner takes off, though. That's an easy toss for the catcher as Forbes bowls over Vargas in the process. Forbes thought, I think she was believing that ball got all the way through. Instead, that's an easy caught stealing for Olette. Count is full at 3-2, however. For Forbes, that is the second time she's been thrown out this season. 1 for 3 now in stolen base attempts. Payoff pitch. Off speed, hammered back up the middle for a base hit. So 2 down now for Lacey Olaf. Fairfield stringing together singles. Hoffman now 5 for 9 this series. But before that, Fairfield are going to make a change, and it's going to be Allie Bridgman who will come in for a pinch hit appearance. So Olaf checking out in this situation. Bridgman, who is 2 for 13, will come up. Now Bridgman can play first as well. That would be the position she would slot into, as the first pitch there for a strike. The 0-1, upstairs and inside. So Bridgman 2 for 13, does have a couple of runs driven in. Outstanding in the circle in the first game for Fairfield. Trying to help her team get back into it here in the third inning. Fouls that went off of her foot. Did have a hit and 2 at-bats in the second game of the doubleheader yesterday against Siena. She is 1 for 5 in this series in total. As the 1-2 comes in, she just spoils it foul. Can also have a hit and a couple RBIs in a victory at Iona last or 2 Wednesdays ago. 1-2 inside. In this inning, Fairfield have had 2 singles. However, Megan Forbes was thrown out trying to take second on a ball in the dirt. The 2-2 outside. Lauren Reinhardt is on deck. This will send the runner at first in Hoffman. Payoff pitch from Spesiak is upstairs for ball 4. So 2 on, 2 out for Lauren Reinhardt, who walked in her first at-bat of this game and is still looking for her first hit of the season. It'll be a time to get it right now. Spesiak deals that one missing down. Reinhardt, a career of the last 3 seasons, hitting .276. Didn't actually have an official at-bat last season. Just only used exclusively as a pitcher in 8 games. In 2019, she was a .309 hitter with 2 homers and 21 runs driven in. Pitch misses up. Fairfield potentially on the precipice of loading the bases once again here. Did that back in the first inning. 2-0 inside. Stags also left 2 stranded last inning. Reinhardt up in the count here. Spesiak is all around the zone right now. That ball's upstairs. Back-to-back walks, and the bases once again loaded for Casey Sekula. However, it looks like Sekula's taking the helmet off, and she's going to be potentially lifted here. It's going to be Maddie Wilson, sophomore from California. Maddie Wilson, a player that is 0 for 1 hitting this season, will step in. However, also the Siena head coach, Casey Bump, is going to trot out to the circle as well to utter some words of encouragement to her pitcher. In fact, actually, between last year and this year, Wilson is 0 for 10 in her career. Was 0 for 9 last year.
Maddie Wilson.
So if there's ever a time to pick up your first career hit, I'd for certain suppose that this would be it right now. That one is there for a strike. Sakula in this spot struck out swinging to end last inning. Or excuse me, in last inning. That pitch is upstairs. So at third, Hoffman, second, Bridgman, first, Reinhardt. All with 2 down. The 1-1 from Speciak is there in the corner for a strike. When Siena come up in their half of the 4th inning, it's the top of the order in Pardo, Vargas, and DeChiro. The 1-2 from Speciak, cut on and miss. And for the second time in 3 innings, Fairfield strand the bases loaded. 2 hits. A couple of walks in there, but no runs to come across. We head to the 4th, Siena lead 3-0. Top of the 4th inning here. Siena leading 3-0. J.J. Duke with you on the Stag Sports Network as the first pitch to Isabella Pardo is fouled off. It'll be Pardo, Vargas, and DeChiro 1-2-3. Due up in the Siena half of the 4th inning. Well, for Fairfield, they've certainly stranded a decent-sized village between these 2 games. The Stags have already left 8 runners on base in this game. They left 8 on in the first game as well. And if there's something that Julie Brzezinski will be talking to her team about, it's hitting with runners in scoring position, because there have been a number of big chances. Obviously, the 5-1 result, you'll take the win in the first game. Fairfield would definitely feel like they could have had a couple of runs against Allison Speciak. As Kudlasik falls behind the count here, 2-1. Pardo is lined out twice to the first baseman, which is now Lauren Reinhardt, taking over for Lacey Olaf. This ball lined through the right side. It's a base hit for Pardo, her first hit of this game. And her first hit of this day as well. Setting the table up for Sabrina Vargas. As Vargas, kind of a specialist in the sense of she's one that will happily lay down a few bunts. Does swing away, however. This is a player in Vargas a couple seasons ago, led the league in sacrifice bunts with 8. And this situation is certainly crying out for a bunt to move the runner over for Chara, who is the leader in terms of power for the Siena ball club. The 0-1, caught on a miss as a rise ball was not laid off. Do it at 0-2. Also, this one upstairs, snap throw behind the runner is not in time. After the way in the first game, when Nicole Patilli came in relief, maybe perhaps she'd be the one that comes in again, especially because Speciak is throwing a lot of pitches. That ball laced back up through the middle, so back-to-back singles right now off of Kudlasik. And while the last couple of innings, Fairfield have made mistakes defensively, last inning, Siena cashing in on it. This inning, Siena are making their own luck right now. Back-to-back hits. DeChiro, who has walked twice, will now stride in. But before that, Julie Brzezinski is going to take the slow walk to the mound, and I was going to say, judging by the body language, Kudlasik would be coming out of this ball game. I haven't seen her made a move just yet. However, Kudlasik is looking to the dugout. You know, it does look like Fairfield are going to be making a pitching change, and they will. So we'll tell you all about the new pitcher in just a moment here in the Stag Sports Network. So Sam Lindsay is now going to take over for Katie Kudlasik. Lindsay's numbers on the season, a 4.35 ERA, 10 in the third innings. 5 runs all earned off 10 hits, walked 3, struck out 5. She pitched 3 innings yesterday in the 7-0 loss to the Saints. The first pitch is there for a strike. 2 runs off 3 hits, walked none, struck out 1. In each of the last 2 appearances that she's had, albeit both of them were 3 innings or longer, has given up 2 runs off 3 hits. And has a difficult assignment with Isabella DeChiro. That pitch gets away, and runners are going to break, move up to second and third on a wild pitch. So takes away the potential double play ball, and a chance now for Siena to really capitalize on this opportunity. At this point, if you're DeChiro, just look for something to drive, as the Fairfield infielder now brought in here with no down. The 1-1 pitch down the line at third. It does go foul. Lindsay looking into the dugout for the sign. The 1-2 offering. This ball ripped to the right side. That's a base hit. 1 run will score. They'll hold Vargas at third. That's an RBI base hit for DeChiro. That's 3 straight singles here for the Saints. In this half of the 4th inning, they bring up Emma McLaughlin. Time called at home. It was a bit of a late time. McLaughlin is 0-2 on this game.
First baseman, number 10, Emma McLaughlin.
Trying to add to the damage here. This ball fouled off at home for DeChiro, who, by the way, that is now her 6th run driven into the season. Also her team leading 15th hit. Well, Siena is certainly a team that has had a bit of success on the day 2s of doubleheaders. As I said, they've split every doubleheader that they've played minus the first one of the season, but in second games, they've won 3 of 4 that they've played since. So we're 3-2 in the first games, and only the 1 win. Or in the second games, excuse me, 1 win in the first games of a doubleheader, as that one is in their first strike, so 0-2 to McLaughlin. As the Siena first baseman looking to put this ball into play somewhere. Corners are tight, middle infield regular depth. That ball drilled out to left field. It will stay in the park, but this will score the run. So a sac fly for McLaughlin plating Vargas. It's the first out of the inning. But McLaughlin picking up her 10th RBI of the season, her 2nd between the 2 games. The Saints now up 5-0. Yami Evans, who had the ribby double with 2 outs last inning, will step in. Pitch misses inside. I believe that also closes the book on Kudlasik. So there are now 5 runs, but 1 of those are earned in 3 innings. The 1-0 cut on and missed. Evans having a good series. She had a couple of hits and a double, or a couple of hits and 2 RBIs in the second game yesterday, and like I said, the RBI double in this game. Off-speed pitch is there. Four for 12 right now is Evans in this series, with down the count 1-2. And versus DeChiro. Pitch spoiled foul, and we'll do it again. I mentioned before that this is the only doubleheader in MAC softball today. We had a couple of games yesterday as well in league action. Quinnipiac and Manhattan played a doubleheader with the Jaspers sweeping the pair 5-2 and 4-3. That was down at Gaelic Park. This one grounded to the right side. Could be a double play ball. 2nd for 1. Relay throw is not in time. It was a slow dribbler out towards 2nd. However, quick release from Rubin got it to Robichaux for a chance for 2. But 1 is all they'll get. Like I said, the 2 doubleheaders tomorrow with Manhattan away to Monmouth and Quinnipiac away to Niagara before the weekend games really kick in. Angelina Style, who lined out of the shortstop, reached on an error in her 2 at-bats in this game. Strides in. Took a big healthy cut. Came up empty. Timeout called by Siena head coach, chatting with Style. It certainly took a healthy cut. That came up empty. And Lindsay trying to limit the damage right now with Siena plating 2 more runs here in this 4th inning. 3 straight singles, Pardo, Vargas, and DeChiro. Then the sac fly from McLaughlin scoring the run. Lindsay up in the count here, 0-2. The 0-2 from the Fairfield hurler. Way outside, but Style chased at it anyways. And that will do it here for the 4th inning. However, Siena, 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors. We head to the bottom of the 4th, and it is the Saints 5 and Fairfield chasing. Back in a moment. Lex Ortman will step in, a sacrifice bunt in her first at-bat. Takes the first one on the outer edge for a strike. Ortman then back to the top of the order in Robichaud and Marino. Gonna win for Siena. They would split the 4-game series. Fairfield were to come back, and they would win the series 3-1. A little roller in front of the plate. Speciak has to be quick with it. She was just beaten, only by a half step. Score that one 1-3. Speciak certainly took her time getting over to that one. Didn't charge it. That was a bang-bang play, but it goes back to the top of the order now, and Madison Robichaud. Robichaud, a fly out and a walk in her 2 plate appearances. Sees that one in her edge for a strike. Speciak yesterday went 4 innings scoreless in the 2nd game of the doubleheader with just the 1 strikeout. A little bit better here in this one at the moment as Robichaud drops down a bunt. Diaz charges. Throw is not going to be in time. So it is a bunt single for Robichaud, who is now 6 for 12 in this series. Now San Marino to step in, who singled and grounded out into 2 plate appearances. Takes a ball. The part of the order that Fairfield thought after the first game that they'd get a bit of production from here in the 2nd. Both have reached once, and again, because Fairfield have left a army on the base paths. Have yet to really cash in on. Marino fouls that one off down the left field line. Stags have left 8 on base in 3 innings. 3 bases loaded each in the first and the third inning, and then 2 in the second. The 1-1. Marino this time goes to right side and hits the first base umpire on the short hop. He's not able to skip it out of the way of that one. Bit of a painful strike, but it is a strike 2 nonetheless. Now the 1-2 is outside. Don't have a pitch count on Speciak, but she's certainly up there. It's thrown a lot of them here in this first 3 1/3. 2-2, again fouled as Fairfield certainly working the pitcher, but at the same time Speciak is also going a lot of deep counts. She's walked 5 in this game. Even some of the outs that Fairfield recorded on have been on 2 and 3 ball counts. And another full count here. Do see a pitcher getting loose though for Siena down in the bullpen. As Marino rips out of the right side past the dive of Evans, and it's a base hit. So back-to-back singles for Fairfield in their half of the 4th inning. Now Michaela Rubin to step in. I believe that is Patilli who's getting loose down in the right field bullpen as Rubin takes the strike right on the inside edge. Patilli threw 3 scoreless innings in relief in the opener. The 0-1 in on the hands, pops straight up. And that ball bounced just on the little patio just off to the left of us. Next here in the press box. Right behind the camera. Doing it 0-2. And at second is Robichaux, first Marino. Pitch misses away. Fairfield would love themselves a clutch at bat here. Pitch fouled off. The runners on in this game, Fairfield, are just 1 for 6. 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Ball bouncer back up the box. Evans just has the 1 play to make. It is the second. They erase Marino. Now runners on the corners for Megan Forbes, who is 1 for 2 on the day with a single. And everything that Fairfield's put in play, especially singles, again, that shock, everything is up the middle to the right side. Haven't seen too many players hold the ball. Forbes does pull that time, but right to the third baseman Diaz, and she flips it on across, and that will do it here for the 4th inning. So Fairfield leave a couple more on base. We end of the 5th. It's Siena 5, Stag 0. It'll be 7-8-9 for Siena, Maritza Diaz, Tony Alba, and Nesa Olette against Sam Lindsay out for her second inning of relief work. She came into the inning for Katie Kudlasik, who did not finish the frame. And the final line for Kudlasik, 3 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, 2 of those earned. Walk 3, struck out 2. Diaz with a pair of singles, the last one being an RBI variety. Swings the first one, grounds it out to Robichaux, takes it on the third hop and flips it on across for the first out of the inning. To mention, it is a busy week for Fairfield Athletics coming up, so tell you all about it. Baseball in action tomorrow, doubleheader at home to Ryder. First game at noon, second at 3. You can watch that here on the Stag Sports Network. Women's soccer is away to Quinnipiac in the MAC quarterfinals. That's on ESPN+. Golf playing an event out in Hartford. Baseball also, again, doubleheader on Saturday. Softball away to Ryder on Saturday. First game at 12. This ball shot to the 5-6 hole, and there's a base hit for Tony Alba, her second hit of this game. Just a controlled swing through the left side. Able to guide that through. Now for Nesa Olette. Keep going in the games to come this weekend. Women's lacrosse home to Siena. Men's lacrosse away to Townsend. Rowing in an event to Sacred Heart. And for much more, go to fairfieldstags.com. All the games coming up over the next couple of days. First pitch there, strike for Olette. Well, 1 fouled into the glove. We'll do it at 0-2. Siena 5 runs on 8 hits, no errors. Fairfield 0 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors. And now left 10 on base. That pitch just a little low. Saints, though, have also left 7 on in their own right, so it's been a lot of action, both hitting and handful of walks in there. As this ball back through the right side, that's a base hit. They're going to hold the runner. Big turn over by Alba. She had a dive back into second base, but it flips the line up to back to the top for Isabella Pardo, who singled and came around to score on the DeChiro single. Sienna is smelling some blood in the water here in this 5th inning. And they have had traffic on the bases every inning, really minus the first, as Kudlasik had a 2-out walk in the first, but she was able to retire the next batter. But every inning since, there has been traffic. Stags wriggled out of a bases loaded jam in the second, but then RBI double from Yami Evans, RBI single from Diaz and Alba in the third. In the last inning, RBI hit from DeChiro and the sac fly from McLaughlin. Pardo down the count, though, 0-2. Lindsay deals that one well away. Lindsay in an inning and a third, 3 hits. Struck out 1. Corners are guiding the lines here. The 1-2, just spoiled foul by Pardo. Especially Sakula over at third. Anything that's chopped down the line, she'd love to just try and take it and step on the base. 1-2 again. Pardo once again just throwing hands at it and able to spoil it. Do it again at 1-2. At second, Alba, first, Olette. This one, a better hitting zone there, but once again, Pardo just able to foul off, staying alive, seeing another pitch. On deck is number 2 hitter Sabrina Vargas, who's 1 for 3 in this game. The 1-2 again, way upstairs. Forbes does well to keep it within her grasp. Now the 2-2 offering, way outside. Pardo putting it in that bat here, has worked it now full. Just the 1 out, and you'd figure that a ball on the ground is going to be difficult to double up Pardo. Lindsay kicks and deals. This one back up the middle and past the reach of Robichaux. They'll send the runner around third. Now they'll put the late brakes on. It was a good decision because it was a strong throw from Marino. The Siena now have the bases loaded. 3 singles in a row for Sabrina Vargas. And Isabel DeChiro is on deck too, which is the leading power threat. Vargas just only 2 runs driven in this season. For that, Julie Brzezinski is going to call time. Have a word with Sam Lindsay. Fairfield are once again in a bit of a trouble spot here. Looking up and down this order, the only spot that had produced anything offensively in this Siena lineup today is the 6th spot in Angelina Style, but she also reached on an error, so everybody has at least done something productive. I'll tell you more about the new Fairfield pitchers. They're going to go to the bullpen for the 2nd time in this game. We'll be back in a moment. Bailey Taylor, the freshman from Seal Beach, California, will step onto the rubber, take over for Sam Lindsay. The lefty has pitched in 2 games this season, started 1, 4 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned, walk 1, struck out 1. That second game being yesterday in the 7-0 loss for Fairfield. 3 scoreless innings, allowing just the 3 hits. But has a difficult task ahead of her. First trying to work out of this bases loaded 1-out jam to Sabrina Vargas. First pitch swung, fly ball shallow over the second baseman's head, and this will fall in. Everybody moves up 1 station. It's an RBI single for Vargas, just her 3rd ribby of the season. Now Isabel DeChiro. already with an RBI in this game, which was her 6th of the season. Chance to do a bit more damage. All these runs, mind you, are going to be going onto the line of Lindsay. And she swings at the first one, does Chiro, and spoils it foul. Chiro today, 2 walks and an RBI single in this game. 0 for 3 in the first contest. The 0-1 off speed and a big swing and a miss. Way out in front of it was Chiro. Now you figure that Taylor can go deep into the arsenal of pitches here. Try to pull the change again or go with the hard stuff. So misses well above the zone. Taylor looks in. Now the 1-2 is way upstairs. Chiro didn't flinch. 4 straight singles for the Saints. Alba, who's just scored. Olette at third. Pardo at second. Vargas at first. Now even at 2-2, Taylor deals. This one spoiled over our heads. It's a good swing from Chiro. Took a good, healthy cut at that as well. Do it again, 2-2. Off speed to the left side. Robichaux just going the short way. Does allow the 1 run to score. Pardo down at third. RBI fielder's choice. 6-5. Is now Emma McLaughlin to step in. McLaughlin already an RBI. Back fly last inning with a fly on a strikeout as well. She has 2 runs driven in through this doubleheader. Had an RBI single back in the first inning of Game 1. That was the only run that the Saints had. This ball down the third base line, but right. That's Sakula, and she steps in the bag. A 5 unassisted. Saints pick up 2 more runs. They lead now 7-0. Head them to the bottom of the 5th. So bottom of the 5th inning, Caitlin Hoffman will step in. A bunch of changes that are coming in. We'll get those to you as we go, but it's going to be Hoffman who will start a single and a walk in her 2 plate appearances, giving her a 5-for-9 series. And Allison Spasiak into the ball, or continuing on, pitching. Misses the first one upstairs. Spasiak in 4 innings has allowed 5 hits and 5 walks. Every inning, Fairfield have had at least 2 runners on base. She misses on that one inside. Siena 7 runs on 11 hits, no errors. Fairfield 0-5-2. That pitch drilled inner edge for a strike. Bridgman and Reinhardt to follow for Fairfield in this inning. The 1-2, high fly ball into left center. That ball is caught for the first out of the inning. That's Sophia Caputo who made the catch out there.
Designated player number 2, Allie Bridgman.
Bridgman sees ball 1. Kylie Wong Lee is in at first for Emma McLaughlin. There's also one other change as well. Caitlin Davis is now into the game in center field. Two-0 now to Bridgman. Make it 3-0. Bridgman trying to get on base as Fairfield again had traffic all afternoon. We've had a batter reach every inning. And Lauren Reinhardt will once again grab the bat as she's walked in both of her plate appearances. Producing, or at least making things happen out of the 7th spot, but still looking for her first hit of this 2021 season. First one misses upstairs. I'll tell you this much, Spasiak again has just thrown a lot here in this game. Saw in the last inning Nicole Patilli warm up. She'd probably be the natural replacement. But Spasiak has now lost the zone, missing on the last 6 pitches. But she takes a little something off of that one and forces Reinhardt to swing over the top of it. Siena will have 5, 6, 7 due up in their half of the 6th inning. 2-1. Down to shallow right center. Davis makes the catch for the second out of the inning. And a new hitter coming in for Fairfield. This will be Talia Brown, who will pinch hit now for Wilson, who is in this spot. Brown this year 0 for 3 in her 3 at-bats this season. Talia Brown, the junior from Upland, California. I'm going to try and extend this inning as that one is on the outer edge for a strike. And Evie Wright has grabbed the bat. She's on the on-deck circle. In case if Brown reaches. This ball lifted just beyond the infield dirt, but comfortable for Evans. Makes the grab, and that will do it for Fairfield's half of the 5th inning. Into the 6th, it's Siena 7, Stags nothing. Top of the 6th inning, Yami Evans to step in against Bailey Taylor. She swings and fouls the first one to the backstop. Evans is 1 for 3 on the day. Got an RBI double back in the 3rd inning. Fielder's choice reached in the 4th. Bailey Taylor is still the pitcher in for Fairfield as she misses on that one. Count at 1-1. And we'll do it at 1-2. Looks like Michaela Fletcher has grabbed the bat, so she's in the on-deck circle for Sienna. The 1-2. Evans spoils it off. Taylor looking in for the sign. Long look. Now she has it. 1-2. Just misses down. Evans came into this game at 267 clip. That double that she hit was her 4th of the season. Sees that one bounce up to the plate and has worked at full. Impressive to say the least for Evans. Of her 9 hits, 4 doubles and 1 homer, so this is an extra base machine. Love to get herself on base here and start this inning again with more traffic, and she will. Interestingly enough, for Siena, despite the fact that they've gotten themselves 11 hits, they've only had the leadoff hitter reach twice in this game, as it is going to be the pinch hitter Fletcher. We saw Michaela Fletcher grab a bat in the first game. She actually started as the DP in the opener, had a fielder's choice in her lone at bat. Fletcher's a .333 hitter. First one misses upstairs. Siena hasn't really been a running team all season long, so I don't expect, doesn't matter what the score line is, but Evans, not really a candidate over there to run. 1-0 to Fletcher's upstairs. Maritza Diaz on deck. She's 2 for 3 in this game. In fact, really the bottom of the order for Siena have been solid. Diaz 2 for 3. The 8-hole with Alba then batting was 2 for 3. This ball lifted off the left side and out of play. And Olette was 1 of 2, but also walked. So everybody in the bottom half finding ways to get on base. And Style, despite the fact that she was 0 for 3 in this spot before getting pinch hit for, did reach on an error as well. 2-1 is upstairs. Well, a similar pattern to what we saw in yesterday's doubleheader. Saints straightforward here in the second game. That one goes to the backstop, but it was already ball 4 anyways. So runners on first and second, no out for Maritza Diaz. In that doubleheader yesterday afternoon, Siena had 8 hits. Fairfield with just the 4. Stags also left 6 runners on base. So really, if you look up and down the entire series for Fairfield, they certainly going to be ruining the amount of runners that they left on base throughout this series. Probably left close to 30 between the 4 games. The first one to Diaz misses upstairs. Yeah, 1-0 is upstairs. Taylor has struggled this inning to keep the ball in and around the plate. Now the 2-0 is an off-speed pitch with their first strike. Able to locate that was Taylor, just in on the edge. Game crossing the 2-hour plateau now. The 2-1 bunting, but a pop-up and is caught. Taken by the pitcher. And now Sophia Caputo, who came in as a defensive replacement last inning, will come up, and she is 0 for 2 this season. Caputo, the sophomore from Waterford, New York.
The center fielder, number 13, Caitlin Davis.
Excuse me, my apologies. Not Caputo. Caitlin Davis. Davis is 3 for 21 this season. She also did come in as a defensive replacement as well. She spoils that one foul. Do it at 0-2. Good hold by Davis. That pitch was sailing away. Ouellette is on deck. And then back to the top of the order. At second base, Evans. Fletcher's at first. Both walked for the pop-out bunt from Diaz. 1-2. Fouled off. Davis, the sophomore from Griswold, Connecticut. Class M All-State honors in 18 and 19. Hitting a couple RBIs last weekend to Ryder. But as she swings and misses that one in the dirt for the second out of the inning. Good change of pace by Bailey Taylor. And now Nasa Ouellette try her luck for the fourth plate appearance today. Is 1 for 2 with a walk and a single and a run scored last inning. Drills that first one in there for a strike to Taylor. Inning in the third for Taylor. Just the one hit allowed. 2 walks, struck out 1. Fouled off the plate. And Taylor came in with the bases loaded last inning, gave up 2 of the runs that were inherited from Lindsay. Only he's given up just the 1 hit, like I said, that was to Vargas. I'll do it at 0-2 here. And just missing outside. Everyone froze for a moment, thinking that the umpire's hand was going to shoot up for strike 3. Only just a ball, but a good miss, competitive miss from Taylor. Made Ouellette think about it. This one foul. Just outside of third. Third base coach kind of dancing her way out of danger of that one. Casey bumped the head coach. Kind of doing the 2-step off to her left to get out of the way of that one. Again, the 1-2. Off speed in the dirt. From 0-2 to 2-2. And at second, Evans, first Fletcher, both walked to begin this inning. This one in on the hands, popped up. That one landing right on top of the press box. Nice battle here from Nasa Ouellette. Taylor deals. That one catches the corner for strike 3. So we'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Fairfield throw up their first defensive scoreless inning since the second. However, the Saints lead 7-0. So Evie Wright is now going to pinch hit. Taking out Ortman. We'll get you Wright's numbers in just a moment. Here is Spasiak about ready to go. Again, as a reminder, Fairfield traveled to Ryder this weekend for a doubleheader. First one to Wright is there. Evie is 4 of 13 with an RBI. For the freshman from Seattle, Washington. Quickly, Spasiak ahead of the count 0-2. Now, for those games, we are actually able to watch them on ESPN3. Ryder will have those games as a noon start for the doubleheaders. 0-2 just misses outside. Although missed by a little bit more than an inch, but the Siena dugout thought that it was a lot closer. And again, Siena will be hosting St. Peter's this weekend. Grounder up the middle. Spasiak snaps it up and fires another first for the first out here of the 6th inning. And if Siena were to hold on to this one, that would be back-to-back series for them, similar to Fairfield. Well, actually 3 straight series for Fairfield, where they would have split the series, though for Fairfield, the first of those 3, just a 2-game set to Canisius, as the back end of that doubleheader a couple of weekends ago canceled due to rain, or postponed due to rain, I should say. This is an important weekend for Fairfield softball, because you look at how the schedule is going right now. This is game number 14 on the season. Right now, still awaiting possible games against some of the teams that they haven't played schedule-wise. Marist series was canceled or postponed. Niagara series postponed. 2 games to Canisius postponed. 10 out of the 40 scheduled not on the slate. But after this weekend, Fairfield will almost be 2/3 of the way done with their schedule as it is right now, as Robichaux flies out. So those games against Ryder are going to become pretty important. Fairfield, in terms of how the standings shake out, they're certainly in pretty decent shape at the moment, with a current 7-5 record, or excuse me, 8-5 record. But they would love to maybe go down to Lawrenceville and pick up 3 out of 4 and try and stay in the fight for perhaps a top 4 spot and hosting rights in the quarterfinal round. As fast that one in there for Marino. Siena will have the top of the order due up in the 7th inning. I'm going to count to 0-2. Spasiak looking for her first 1-2-3 inning. Had a 4-batter inning last time, worked around a 1-out walk to Bridgman. And she'll get the 1-2-3 inning right there. Strikes out Marino, and we go to the 7th with Siena up 7. Isabel Pardo will get things going for Siena in their half of the 7th inning. 7 runs off 11 hits, no errors. For Fairfield, 0 runs, 5 hits, and the 1 error. Pardo, 2 lineouts to the first baseman and 2 singles thus far. First pitch from Bailey Taylor in again for relief. This is parts of her 3rd inning pitching. She's tossed an inning and 2/3 thus far. Off speed was a good spot. Outer edge. And for Taylor, who had some success yesterday out of the bullpen, 3 scoreless innings. Did allow a couple of runners that were inherited to her come across and score, but she's worked in and out of some trouble. But we'll do it at 1 and 2 now. Pardo, this is the 5th trip through the order for Siena in this 2nd game. The 1-2. Fouled off. And again, the 1-2. Pardo battling, but the umpire said she offered at it. And the strikeout is completed. K2-3 for those keeping track. That's the 3rd straight strikeout for Bailey Taylor. And Sabrina Vargas, also another player who's got a couple of hits in this one, will look to make it a 3-hit day. Vargas had a 1-for-2 effort in yesterday's 2nd game of the doubleheader with a couple of runs scored. So he's the first outside the zone. One-0 there for a strike. Fairfield will have 3-4-5 due up in their half of the 7th inning. Taylor again missing with that one. Dribbler outside of 3rd. Another long count for Taylor. The difference in this game, as we mentioned, the fact that Fairfield have had a litany of players on base, but also the runners in scoring position average for Siena, 385 clip, 13 at-bats with runners in scoring position. Fairfield just the 6th. This one's flown out to right center. Marino is there to make the catch. And Fairfield with just runners on in general, they're 1 of 10. It's a lot of walks in there, mind you.
Left fielder, number 15, Sophia Caputo.
Siena have just been clutch in these situations. Sophia Caputo came in as a defensive replacement earlier, steps in. She's 0 for 2, sends it out in the shallow left center, and Marino makes the grab. And that ends the top of the inning. Fairfield chasing 7. We go to the bottom of the 7th here on the Stag Sports Network. Caitlin Casey will pinch hit to begin this 7th inning.
Pinch hitter, number 13, Helen Casey.
Casey is a junior from Short Hills, New Jersey. First offering from Allison Spechiak, misses outside the zone. I believe this is Casey's first at-bat of the season. Looks at that one for a strike. Yep. Casey had 2 at-bats last season. 0 for 2. Did walk once. That's her first at-bat here of this 2021 season. She fouls that one off the tip of the catcher's glove. Spechiak 3-1 on the season. And part of a team combined shutout, but yet to throw one of her own. But it's 2 outs away from that as she strikes out Casey going up the ladder. In fact, Siena as a team have only combined for 1 shutout this season. And that was in a
Catcher, number 6, Megan Forbes.
We'll get that one in just a moment for you as Megan Forbes drills that one to left field, and that's going to get over the head of Caputo and go to the wall. So Forbes picks up her 2nd hit of this game, 6th hit of the series. And with 1 out, there's 1 on. What I was looking for, obviously, was yesterday's combined team shutout.
The right fielder, number 23, Caitlin Hoffman.
And Spechiak trying to do it on her own here, but now Caitlin Hoffman a chance to do a bit more damage. Takes ball 1 down. Hoffman 1 for 2. That's a 5 for 10 series thus far with 5 runs driven in. Fairfield trying to finish the day on a high note. Well, it is upstairs for ball 1. Allie Bridgman on deck for the Stags. Spechiak now to 3-0. Obviously, outside of any major trouble, you figure that Siena are just going to let Spechiak go ahead and finish this ball game up. And that one is drilled there for a strike. Obviously, it's thrown a lot of pitches. Because the Siena righty today, but she has found ways to battle, especially through a couple of tough innings. That one is outside for ball 4. I think the way that Hoffman kind of half hesitated down to first, she knew that that one was a bit close, but she certainly will not mind taking the free pass. And Bridgman will step in for her, well, still has actually yet to register an official at bat. She's been up to the plate twice and picked up a couple of walks.
The third baseman, number 2, Allie Bridgman.
See the first one inside. And the sun starting to fade a little bit behind us, casting a few shadows. Dugouts coming across here in this near side. Strike 1. Certainly a difficult sun for the right fielder and the right side of the infield. So Michaela Rubin fumble a couple earlier on in this game. Count at 1 and 2 now. Spechiak once again hits the inner edge. That ball floated out to right field. Coming on and making the grab is Pardo for the second out. Able to see that one below the setting sun. Makes the grab, and now Lauren Reinhardt, last scheduled hitter for Fairfield. trying to break up the shutout for Allison Speciak. Off speed was a perfect pitch. Froze everybody up. And drills the inner edge to back it up. So great mixing there going up against Lauren Reinhardt. Speciak, looking to secure the series split. And this split today of this doubleheader. We'll do it at 0-2. Forbes down at second, Hoffman at first. This outside. Brown on deck for Fairfield, who she came in as a pinch hitter back in the 5th inning. Off speed, this ball hammered out into left center field, but coming on with a sliding grab is Davis. That completes this ball game. That completes the complete game shutout for Allison Speciak, who will go 7 innings, all 7 frames, allowing 6 hits, no runs, did walk 7, but struck out 4. The loss will go to Katie Kudlasik, 3 innings, 5 runs, 2 of those earned. Siena improves to 5-7 on the season. Fairfield drops to 8-6. So thanks so much for tuning into this presentation of Fairfield softball all day long in the Stag Sports Network. For everyone here, I'm JJ Duke signing off. It's a split of today's doubleheader where Fairfield make the first one by a score of 5-1 and Siena win the nightcap 7-0. Until next time, goodbye for now.